welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I'm Isabella Stevens, joined with Sarah Vantine, and today we are here in San Jose, California with the Del Bron Dealer Group. And Sarah, we have a very exciting conversation.
Yes, we do, Isabella. This is one of the best conversations that we're going to have today about the service lane and the hard-working service advisors of DGDG. Everyone on our panel, welcome today. Want to start by introducing yourself to our audience, starting with Patty. If you'll introduce yourself, and then we'll go down the line and share who you are and what you do with DGDG.
I'm Patty Argetsinger, and I'm a service advisor for Capital Volkswagen.
I'm George Rodriguez, Service Parts Director for Capital Chevrolet. Randy Sorrentino, the Director of Service for DGDG. Alfred, Service Manager, Capital Mazda.
I'm Bryan Yorkey, Service Advisor at Capital GUC.
Now, Randy, starting with you, the service advisor role has changed dramatically in the last decade. Is the role today of order takers, salespeople, or relationship managers? And how should dealers be thinking about the evolution of service today?
Wow. There's a lot that's happened in the last 10 years, a lot of technological advancements. But I'm a firm believer, especially in the role of a service advisor, that technology should only be utilized to enhance the human engagement and the guest experience, and it should avoid replacing the human involvement in that experience. And, when I hear the phrase order taker, I feel that we have essentially forfeited our role and value as to what a service advisor really is supposed to be. And it's that business builder. In all good business, whether it's in the automotive industry or whatever it may be, good business takes place person to person. It takes place with people. And that's built on a foundation of a good relationship. And technology should be there to support that. It should not be there to replace that. So again, the moment that we submit to being an order taker, we essentially can just be replaced by a kiosk in a driveway that's going to present options to a guest and collect data from the guest. And I assure you that the advisor and the role has much more value in it than that, but it must be placed through relationship building. And again, I think technology should accompany that, should supplement it, but it shouldn't replace it.
You're so right, Randy, and that really is central to the conversation that we're having here today at the Fixed Ops Roundtable. The people are so critical for that positive customer experience, and people build relationships with other people, not so much technology. Patty, I'm curious, what actually happens in the first 2 to 3 minutes of a service visit that determines whether a customer trusts you or not?
Well, I feel like first impressions are everything. So walking out and crumply with a smile on your face, and even the customer, is a really big thing to me. Once I'm with the customer, I ask them, what we can do for them. I also thank them for coming into our dealerships. Once I've let them speak of all the concerns, we come out of the call and kind of do a yakuran to just refresh their memory in case they need anything else they've forgotten about. And then I go over everything they've told me, so we can make sure we're both cruising track. And then we let them know once we get a diagnosis, we won't be doing any repairs or doing anything of that sort. HOE to actually stick with them and let them let's them know with their vehicle.
That communication is so critical, Patty. And Isabella, I know we've seen a lot of really incredible conversations around that topic.
Yes, 100%, Sarah. Now, my biggest question is to George. How do you create consistency in the service lane so every customer feels that same high-level experience, no matter what service advisor they might get that day?
Well, it all starts with, as Patty said, the first impression with communication with the customer, and having your team on the same page to make sure that the customer is valued, that they feel that they can trust us, that they get the ultimate experience to be happy and return. Because our ultimate goal in that driver is to have customer retention for them to come back. And then putting a plan together with your service advisors and letting them know to our customers as well that the price is the price. They may be more expensive, but we're going to show you why. We're going to give value to what kind of warranties provide. Because our ultimate goal is not only for them to have a great experience here at DTGG with Collaborator and Telpi,
that's the victory as a service advisor.
Yeah. But how do you ensure that all of your team members are on that same page? Does it start with the amazing core values that DGDG has?
Always starts with the core values, especially with the character.
Yes.
And speaking with your advisors daily, communicate, letting know what's expected here every single day. We all have things that come up in our lives, but when the customers come in, they are the boss.
Yeah.
They really are. And if we treat that and get our people to understand how everything's aligned the same way, we're speaking the same language, explaining everything the same way, the customer's not going to matter who else. They're going to want to just come in, be greeted, and say, hey, I'm back. I'd like to get my car serviced. And for us, that's probably the greatest thing that can happen.
It is, and really having those moments where the customer can just toss the keys, so to speak, and be in that relationship with their service advisor, that they feel that everything that's going to happen in that experience with service is completely transparent and consistent. Bryan, I'm also curious, what separates advisors who simply present recommendations from those who actually earn approval and drive that revenue?
So my opinion is that during our checkout and everything, when we're talking with our customer, or check-in, when we're talking with the customers and we're going through what they're in for and their maintenance or related repairs or diagnostic, we kind of have to go and build what they actually want and what they actually need. So we may go and present them a menu and we give them 3 options. They may not need everything on the menu because they've previously done it. So what we have to go and do is kind of build a package around them and what they have. And then that builds trust, because once we get to the diag and we go and show them what their repairs are that are needed, they will then go and be like, hey, we also have these recommendations on the maintenance that we previously spoke about. And we could go and get a plan of action of what we have going on, from the repair to maintenance to a future visit, to go and knock it out at different intervals, so we can go and get them back in maybe in another month because they don't have everything at that time or the lens at that time. And we kind of go from there.
That's awesome. Now, Alfred, what are some of those key metrics that you track for service advisors, and how do you hold the team accountable without breaking the culture?
I think it starts with the culture first. So if you lead essentially with a process and make sure it's positive and not reprimanding the weaknesses in a metric, but looking at the as opportunity, it gives us a good foundation for a relationship to keep us accountable together. It's going to be working together. But to go back to the beginning of the question, it would be customer gross profit per hour would be the main one. And then there'd be coached through average menu sales, and then through essentially recommendation closing percentages.
Randy, I have a follow-up question, because we're talking about the people and the culture and those best practices that really enable an exceptional service experience for the clients of DGDG. One piece that we touched on in the beginning was the technology. So I'm curious, as service advisors, continue to evolve in this industry, what skills do you see being most critical for them to possess with that customer interaction?
Comfortability around the technology, specifically using a tablet, being able to send, videos and pictures through different software programs that are built for dealership use, like Xtime and things like that. It is really essential that the advisor be comfortable, open-minded, coachable as these different technologies evolve to increase guest experience. So they have got to be coachable.
Isabella, the future is bright here for service advisors and the service lane at DGDG.
I would agree. I love their emphasis on trust and transparency. It just really warms my heart to hear of an organization that focuses on those things.
Well, congratulations to everyone on this panel. You do a tremendous job for DGDG. Everyone, I'm Sarah Vantine here with Isabella Stevens. On behalf of the Fixed Ops Roundtable and Ted Ings, we'll be right back.